Good evening, Lake Orion. Well, Christmas has arrived. The holidays are approaching. I'm your host, and I am Between Taorminas. Yes, indeed. This is Between Taorminas here on ONTV. Notice we're from an undisclosed location. Sammy, how you doing?
You know, I'm working on my coal list for some people.
Like?
There are some people on here that deserve coal, like John Atwater,
Okay.
Bob Bridges, Eric
Okay.
Jennings, Jim Manzo, Bill Reese.
What about our loving co-host, Ian Weatherspoon?
I said Ian Weatherspoon.
He definitely deserves
Yes,
coal.
he does. Yes,
he really,
does.
really does. It's a
Yes.
shame.
Yes, it is.
It's a shame. He won't come on here. He says his reasoning's fantasy football show.
Ah,
Oh my gosh.
my
How
goodness.
horrible is that?
How horrible is that?
All right, let's get to sports here. Let's talk about the college football playoff. They released that today. Or they released that yesterday. Michigan is not in. They're in the Orange
Hey!
Bowl.
They
Why?
deserve not to be in.
Why?
Because they lost to Ohio State. Because they lost to Ohio State. And they didn't even get in.
Ohio State shouldn't be in.
I know Ohio State should not be in.
They shouldn't
but
be
they
in.
have
Penn
one
State should
loss.
have been in.
Ohio State has
But
one
Penn
loss.
State should have been in.
But don't matter. Ohio State has one loss. So I'm telling you
Yeah,
right
right.
now is that Michigan, the reason why they're not in is because, one, that loss to Iowa killed them.
By
And
a
then-
field goal.
And then, of course, the game against Ohio State where they ended up losing in double overtime. But I'm telling you right
Yeah,
now,
ripped off.
Michigan football next year is not going to be very good because they lose all that experience, they lose all that talent. They're going
When
to
did
be
the
very young
convo start becoming about Michigan football?
because they're in so
We're
much
talking
trouble.
about the college football playoff.
But Michigan got exactly what they deserved and not make the college football playoff. Washington deserved to make
But look
the
at
college
Washington's
football
strength
playoff.
of schedule.
I know, but
It's atrocious.
they won the Pac-12
You make the
North.
argument of does conference championships matter? Because here's the reality: Ohio State lost to Penn State. Ohio State was not in the Big Ten championship game, whereas Penn State played and won their championship game. But also, if you're Oklahoma, you got a beef too, because the Big 12 does not exactly have a championship
Because the
game.
Big 12 doesn't have a championship until next year. I mean, like the Big 12, what they should do is add 2 more members, and they're going to have a
They won't
competition-
add 'em,
They
man.
won't
They
add
won't
them.
add
I'm
'em.
very upset about that. They're just going to have the top 2 teams play in the Big 12 championship game. So that's a disadvantage for the Big 12. And then you look at Penn State. Okay, Penn State did beat Ohio State,
They did.
but here's the thing.
The committee didn't take it into consideration.
No, it didn't. Ohio State has 1 loss. That's why they're in the college football playoff.
But I mean, that one loss was Penn State.
Right, but still, when you have
Why would you reward a team who didn't win the conference championship college football playoff?
I don't know what the reasonings was about Ohio
What is
State.
what makes Ohio State so special?
Because they have a lot of boosters and they have a lot of
So does Michigan.
yeah. Michigan's got a lot of boosters.
So does Michigan State.
I know, but Michigan had a rough
So
year.
does. I mean, bottom line is just because the team has boosters doesn't mean nothing. Bottom line is this: Ohio State did not participate in their national champ in the championship game, in the league championship game. Yet they got rewarded to go in the college football playoff over Penn State, a team that beat them, a team that won the Big Ten championship. I mean, what logic
Well,
is
Penn
there?
State's got 2 losses. They lost to
I
Pitt.
know that.
That loss to Pitt really hurt them. That loss to Pitt really hurt Penn State. You know what I mean? I'll tell you why. Because if they would have had 1 loss, then Penn State would have jumped Ohio State. In the college football playoff. Then Ohio State would have been the ones playing in the Rose Bowl and not Penn State. I mean, Penn State would have been in the playoff. Had they lost that game to Pitt, then we're talking about Penn State possibly being in the college football playoff.
But I mean, the question is Ohio State's reputation, is that why they're in?
Yes. You look at Alabama, Clemson.
Alabama were undefeated. They won a Big 12 championship.
SEC.
Or SEC championship.
Clemson,
won an ACC championship.
Washington won
the Pac-12. I mean, you can almost forgive the committee for putting Washington in there because of their lack of strength of schedule.
You know, but I think if there's a team that got robbed, it was Penn State.
Yes, Penn State got robbed. Because Penn State should be in there and not Ohio State.
No. But, you know, Penn State's going to the Rose Bowl. They're going to be playing
Yeah, they're
USC.
going to the Rose Bowl, yes.
I mean, the Rose Bowl for Penn State, look at Penn State.
Michigan got 6.
Penn State has suffered enough. You know what I mean? You know, remember the 2011 Jerry Sandusky scandal?
Yes, the Sandusky scandal.
For this
the
team
Joe
to be
Paterno situation.
For this program, you know, 5 years in the making, to be back in the Rose Bowl, that's a heck of an accomplishment. And, you know, and I think
I'm not denying their accomplishment. I'm not denying that. Because Penn State's made tremendous strides. It's just that I think Penn State should probably have been in the college football playoff.
And here's the thing:
they won the Big Ten championship. They beat Ohio State. What more of a resume can you have there?
Well, you know, they do have an incredible resume, but I believe that loss to Pittsburgh really hurt Penn State.
What about the loss to Michigan?
I don't think it's the loss to Michigan that hurt them as much as it's the loss to Pitt that really hurt them. You know what I mean? You know.
Are you sure about that?
Remember that game in Pittsburgh?
Yes, I know. I watched that game.
Yes, I think that game at Pitt really hurt Penn State.
I don't agree. I really just don't agree.
Let's agree to disagree on that statement.
So, I mean, Penn State should be in the college football playoff. Do you agree with me or you don't?
I kind of don't, because I think that loss to Pitt really hurt Penn State's chances.
So you're saying Ohio State should be in the national college football?
Do I think Ohio State deserves to be in the national?
Yeah, they did beat Oklahoma. They did beat Michigan. I understand that.
Yeah,
but bottom line is they weren't in their conference championship.
I agree with that. You know, then what's the point of having a conference championship?
I mean, what's the point of having a conference championship?
And then, you know, but a team I'm really glad that's not in, it's Michigan.
Why are you not happy Michigan then?
I'm glad Michigan's not in.
Why are you not happy?
I'm glad Michigan's not in. Because, you know, they lost to Iowa. Iowa was not a good team.
But Michigan beat Penn State. They beat Wisconsin. They beat Colorado. Those are 3 teams at least top 8.
Mm-hmm. But
I mean, it's like that's, you know, you've got at least top 8. Michigan is beaten. That's a pretty good resume right there. Yes, they lost to Ohio State. Yes, they lost to Iowa. But I mean, that's still a pretty good resume.
But they get to play Florida State and Miami Gardens. It's going to virtually be a road game for Michigan.
Yes, it will.
And I think it's going to be, and I think John Atwater's going to be doing this. Do, 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 do. Even Bob Bridges is going to do this. Do, do, do. And Dan Haas. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do.
Any final thoughts?
Do, do, do.
We'll be right back.
Do, 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 do.
Residents are invited to line the streets of downtown Lake Orion on Saturday, December 3rd at 6 p.m. for the 2016 Orion Area Lighted Christmas Parade. The parade starts at Blanche Sims Elementary School and travels north on Broadway before coming to an end at the Eamon Center. More than 75 community groups, including scouts, dignitaries, and marching bands, will entertain spectators of all ages. And, of course, Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus will appear in person to usher in the holiday season and will attend a meet and greet at Village Hall after the parade. If you'd like to participate in the parade or for more information, including the parade route, visit orionlightedparade.org.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
When I'm in Lake Orion and I want to catch up on sports, I watch Between Taorminas.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas here on ONTV.
I wonder what I should get for Christmas. You know what I mean? I know I've already got a list of people I'm giving coal to.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you sure you don't deserve coal?
I don't deserve coal. I deserve gifts.
What do you deserve?
I deserve next year's Michigan State trip to the national championship game.
That won't happen.
And
Sorry.
a Dallas
Michigan State
Stars
fans.
future Stanley Cup.
That won't happen.
That will happen. And then of course, I have a long list of calls for some top people who are going to get some. There are some people that deserve cool. And why somebody do a toilet on me?
Because some of these gift choices are unrealistic.
They are realistic.
All right, let's talk about the Lions and what they're doing. They beat the Saints. Ian Weatherspoon had to be clapping and cheering after the Lions beat his favorite team, the New Orleans Saints, at home in the Superdome. A lot of people, including in Detroit, were not giving the Lions a chance to win. What's going on, other than the fact that the Saints' defense is the worst defense in the NFL, as stated on Joe Johnson's fantasy football show?
Well, you got to give Matthew Stafford a lot of credit.
You do.
Okay? This is a guy who, very underrated quarterback in the NFL, you know, deserves to get a big payday from the Lions.
Yes.
But when you look at the Lions this year,
Their defense actually did very well
their
yesterday.
defense, yeah, Drew Brees didn't even throw a touchdown pass.
No. That's the first time in like 200 games that that's been broken.
Yeah, he threw but Brees threw 3 picks in that game.
Yeah, he
I mean,
did.
that was something that I couldn't believe. And then you got to give the
Lions.
Yeah, you got to give the Lions credit here, especially your defense and Terrell Austin, what he's done with that group. I mean,
Can't believe we're
I
saying
couldn't
this.
believe that. What shocked me was I could not believe that it was funny and wrong at Golden Tate's touchdown
Unbelievable.
it was a
pass.
19-13 game.
Yep.
And here's Stafford just coming, getting like, I'm getting killed. And then he throws like a long bomb to Tate. Tate disses 2 defenders in for the touchdown. I could not. And it was shocking to see how instead of them just collapsing like they normally do,
Yes.
they end up just
Being
going
the
in
anti-
and scoring a touchdown the way they did, responding to that Saints touchdown. They answered that one, and they got an extra field goal, which kind of helped them out. And they ended up holding off the Saints. I mean, like, it's an incredible win for the Lions. You know what I mean? Especially now when you look at the fact that this is an 8-4 team, but their schedule, their final 3 games are against the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Packers. Those are
All
not
three
going to be
very
easy
good
games.
teams.
And all 3 of them have
2
established
of them are on the
quarterbacks.
roads.
Yeah, and all 3 of those teams have established quarterbacks. When you look at Eli Manning, you look at what Aaron Rodgers has done in Green Bay, and then of course the emergence of Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott with the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be very difficult for the Lions.
Well, you look at obviously the Lions got to take care of business against the Bears, which I believe they will.
Yes.
You're looking at potentially you're looking at the Giants. The Giants could be had.
Yes.
The Giants could be had in New York.
Right.
I'm not saying, obviously, the Lions DB's got to do very well against a guy like Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
Cowboys gonna be rough, especially with their offense that they have.
Their offensive line is the reason why they're good. Is because their experienced offensive line. Zeke Elliott's having a big year because of that offensive line.
The offensive
and of course,
line.
Dak Prescott. You know what I mean? Gives them a new dimension because he gives them that running threat. You know what I mean? Where Tony Romo has not.
Their
given that
defense,
threat.
they're healthy.
Right.
They're also healthy too, especially on defense.
Right.
And
then Green Bay.
Green
Lions should be just absolutely mad. You know.
Well,
what I mean,
yeah.
with them.
I mean, you look at Aaron Rodgers not having a good year.
No, but
And,
if you think about it,
I think the Lions can beat the Packers, definitely.
if the Lions can win 3 of their next 4,
Which
they're
is
NFC
doable.
North champions. You know.
That's very doable. It's very, very doable.
Right. They have to win 3 of the next 4, And there's a game.
Not easy.
It's not going to be easy, but I think they have a chance against New York in the Meadowlands.
I think they could beat New York.
And I think they have a chance. They can beat Chicago.
Oh,
and
they'll
I
beat
think
Chicago, I think.
a New Year's Day game against Green Bay is absolutely huge.
Yep, you're right.
That
Could be for the league championship.
That could be for the NFC North. Just imagine early in the year, could you think that the Lions would be playing for the NFC
all
North
teams.
championship?
No, I could never imagine it.
I
don't think any of us could imagine it.
No.
I mean, you're looking at but I mean, this is the Lions. They do have a history of collapsing.
Yup.
So I mean, you have to take that with a grain of salt.
Oh yeah, and I know John Atwater right now is panicking right now because the Lions are if the Lions finish 8-8, they're in so much trouble, and John Atwater is gonna be the blame.
Could the Lions go into the playoffs at 9-7, or do they have to go in with double-digit win tally?
I think they would have to go in with double-digit win tally because when you look at the NFC North, the strength of this division, you still got to deal with Seattle. You got
Seattle's not in the NFC North.
no, but they're in the NFC. You got Dallas is the best team in the NFC, and then you got
Very
Minnesota,
clinched.
right? And you have Minnesota, Washington, Green Bay starting to come back with a vengeance. I mean, it's not going to be an easy final 4 weeks of regular season. So if I'm the Lions, I need to win at least 3 or 4 games. You know what I mean? But they're right now taking it week to week, and Jim Caldwell right now is taking it week to week basis.
Do you think Caldwell has to win to get in? Has to get in the playoffs to keep his job,
Yes. I think
even though the Lions are having a great season.
Right, they're having a great season right now, but I'm still saying is that this team needs to win. They have to win this week. They have to win. If they win this week, have Green Bay, Minnesota both lose. You know what I mean?
That'd be nice.
Then it gives them that three game cushion. You know what I mean? Which is huge for this team. You know what I mean? So basically, if the Lions can somehow
So you're saying the Lions have got to take care of business, and they had to hope Minnesota and Green Bay keep losing.
right, and if those two teams keep losing, then and then that makes those 3 games very manageable. Well, those 3 games very manageable, even though they're tough games. You know what I mean? New York's still fighting for a playoff spot.
Yep.
Dallas is already clinched. We don't know if they're going to rest their starters or not. You know what I mean? But still, if you have to play Dallas, you're still dealing with a very good quarterback in Tony Romo anyway. And
Right.
then you got
Tony Romo's not the greatest.
right, and then of course you got Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. They could be playing for a playoff spot, maybe even the North title. So when you look at the schedule clearly favors Green Bay right now over the Lions. Because of that stretch.
Right, but who does Green Bay have that's coming up? That stuff.
They got to play Minnesota.
Yeah.
They still got to play Chicago
One more time.
one more time.
They still got to play Lions.
Yep. I think that game with Chicago's at Soldier Field, so that's going to be very
So
interesting.
Ford Field could be rocking that last game.
It could be on New Year's Day. Yep.
Could be rocking.
Could be rocking.
So we'll have to see.
If they are rocking, we got to get tickets for that game. It'll be great.
What about with the Cowboys? Obviously, Jeff doing very well.
Oh yeah.
Got to be really happy for him.
Oh yeah. I'm very happy for the guy. I mean, going to the playoffs, experiencing it, maybe even getting a bye. Maybe you know what I mean. So I think
Potentially,
that'd be huge. When you look
Potentially
at
going to either also on the Pro Bowl or the ballot for the Pro Bowl.
Oh, is he on the ballot?
Yeah, he's back
Really?
on the ballot. Yeah.
Really? That's
So
good.
I'm really happy for Jeff.
Really happy for him. He's doing very well. I believe he's doing very well in Dallas right now. We'll see what happens going forward.
He's gonna come on the show at some point. He wants on. He's gonna come on at some point.
Oh yes.
Can't wait to have that. That'll be a really good show.
Oh yeah. If Dallas has their playoff bye week, we might have him on here.
Who knows? We'll have to see if he's back in town. Have to ask the Mr. and Mrs.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll be right back with Between Taorminas here on ONTV. Hello, Oakland County. This is Sammy Taormina talking OA Now. In it, we'll talk various stories ranging from the state to Oakland County teams affecting the OAA. Catch us here on OA Now. Hello, Lake Orion. It's Anthony Taormina, co-host of Between Taorminas. I want to let you know of a new show called History Now. In it, we're going to talk about global, national, and political events that occur in our lifetime. We're going to also have guests and also have co-hosts as well, and also plenty of surprises. Catch us on History Now here on ONTV. Welcome back to Between Taorminas here on ONTV from an undisclosed location. Around somewhere in Lake Orion, but still undisclosed location. Sammy, how you doing?
Tired. Long day.
Long day today?
Yep.
All right. Well, let's talk about college basketball, what's going on there. Have you noticed a trend, it seems like, lately? Oakland and Michigan State are playing very similar competition. They both played Oral Roberts. They're both going to play Northeastern before they play each other.
Yep.
I've noticed a little bit of a trend that they're playing very similar opponents. Oakland right now is 8-1. They're playing they're playing
the best start they've had.
It's the best start they've had. And but one thing comes to mind is the schedule. And obviously it's been well documented that the schedule, Oakland University Athletic Director Jeff Konya was on Coach Campy asking for a more lighter schedule to get more wins on the schedule. Does this help or hinder the Grizzlies if they're to get into a potential, if they're to get back into the NCAA tournament, or even if they are considered, even if they get invited to a postseason tournament?
I think it does help them. You know what
Why?
I mean? Because when you look at, when you play the murder's row of schedule they've had for the past few years,
Yes.
if you win, it gives the players confidence. It gives them, it's more happier to go to work, to play. When you have an 8-1 record, you know what I mean? You're winning games. You're now like some of the games they're playing, you know what I mean? Like, they have helped them. With Alaska, of course, they haven't really played that tough game yet. You know what I mean? And
well, Nevada is considered
Right,
one of
Nevada's
them. But
one-
I mean, like, my point is, I know that you can't control the schedule that you play. But my point is, you don't have that. You don't have the type of schedule where you have the high quality mid majors. You don't have the. Yes, they're going to play Michigan State. They're going to play Georgia coming up. But I mean, you don't have that quality mid-major team that you are accustomed to playing.
But if they beat one of those big teams, if they beat Georgia, remember a couple years ago, you beat Tennessee. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then of course,
they got in the
and then so there's opportunities for this,
there is
team to
opportunities.
show who they are coming up. When you look at Georgia, you look at Michigan State. Michigan State's not a
Oakland's never beaten Michigan State in their career.
but I think Oakland's got a great chance
They got
going
a
to
great
East Lansing to go beat them. I think they got a great chance.
They
You know
got
what I
a
mean?
chance.
Because when you look at
Miles
Oakland,
Bridges might not play.
right? You look at, and that's
could,
why
though.
I'm saying Michigan State looks vulnerable right now because Oral Roberts. You know what I mean? Let's look at them. Of course, they were just completely destroyed by Oakland, and then they played Michigan State, hung in there with them, almost had a chance to beat them.
But a lot of that, too, was Oakland is very familiar with Oral Roberts. Michigan State is not. Then when you're looking at Northeastern coming up, Michigan State is very familiar with Northeastern, whereas Oakland is not familiar with Northeastern.
No, and
so, I mean, those are some things to consider.
Right, but I think it's
And Oakland's going to be playing a back-to-back because you got Northeastern first, then they got to travel to Michigan State. So it's like, it's that's going to be very challenging.
It's going to be very challenging, yes, because of the fact that you're playing a back-to-back, and I think
But also Michigan State's is enjoying a homestand right now.
Right, they're in a nice homestand right now, until Bridges gets healthy. I mean, you look at the schedule coming up for Oakland, because you got Robert Morris this weekend.
Robert Morris, yep.
And then, of course,
Then you got Northeastern.
Then it's Northeastern, then
Then it's
Michigan,
Michigan State.
So when you look at this matchup, I think it's going to be a very interesting.
The concern that I have is Oakland has a reputation of building their RPI. Their rating, for those of you who don't know what an RPI is rating percentage index. That helps you when you're seeded to get into the NCAA tournament. Now, my concern is that you got, in terms of the mid-majors, you don't really have a quality mid-major team that Oakland has played. Now, I'm not saying that Western Michigan can't or Bowling Green can't, but I mean, the one game that they played where they played a quality mid-major school was Nevada. And Nevada, to be honest with you, is very, very good, but Oakland lost to Nevada. So then you've got UC Davis, who, typically they do good, but UC Davis is not very good
Oakland's
this year.
winning a game
They're winning games they're supposed to win, yes. I'm not denying that.
But here's the thing.
But my concern is if they get into a postseason tournament that they won't be invited because of their lack of strength of schedule.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Well, actually, Yeah, because when you look at, I think the players they have, when you look at,
They do have good players, and they
good
know
players.
that they stress that they can get better.
Right,
they
they can get better. Yes.
That's a good
When
thing.
you look at it here, I'm not pressing panic button on this team.
No, I'm not either.
Oakland's going to be fine. You know, I think that, you know, we have the non-conference schedule. You know what I mean? I really think that this is a basketball program that's going to be on the rise. And when you look at Oakland, the way that they're playing good basketball. I'm a little disappointed why not a lot of people are coming out to the games, but
I have my reasons.
But I'm saying is that this is a program on the rise, and I think that Coach Greg Campy's done a very nice job with this team.
He has. He's done a sensational
And
job.
when you look
I would never bash Coach
and when you look at
Coach Campy's
when you look at the impacts this team's had, of course, when you look at John Dorsey Walker, losing Kay Felder, you look at Martez Walker, you look at the emergence of Isaiah Brock, you know what I mean? Of course, we all know about his story. I mean, you look at Oakland, this is a team I think on the rise, and I think if they can get that big time win against a big time school, Georgia looks vulnerable, even though they have Deontay Mayton, Michigan State looks extremely vulnerable right now when you look at the way they've been playing
Michigan
lately.
State, though's got some good freshmen, though.
Right. When you look at, of course, when you look at Cassius Winston on that team, you look at you know, I think, but when you look at that matchup, Oakland's got, if I had to pick right now between Oakland and Michigan State right now, it would be Oakland right now because of the experience. They have experience.
I know.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
We'll have to see what happens December 21st.
Oh, yes.
I mean, we'll have to see what happens when Oakland goes to East Lansing and plays Michigan State. That'll be interesting. Also, I think the kids will be on break at that point. So
You notice we haven't talked about Michigan.
yeah, we've not talked about Michigan.
And Michigan's not a good basketball team.
Didn't Michigan, they gave up a big comeback, I think it was.
Yeah, they lost to Virginia Tech. That was
Virginia
absolutely
Tech.
funny how they lost that game. I'm still
They were
laughing.
up big.
They were up by
weren't
14, and I'm still laughing.
because Virginia Tech shot a high percentage and bounced back.
Right, and I'm saying right now, and this is why it's making, and I think it's going to hurt them, is that lost Virginia Tech.
Well, we'll have to see about that. Any final thoughts?
We'll see what happens going forward. We all know the Pistons are not very good.
Well,
And then
Pistons are playing all right. Ian Weatherspoon needs to be coming back on the show.
Yes, he does.
That'll do for this week's episode of Between Taorminas. Have a great night, Lake Orion, and see you soon.